Sunil Garg, Managing Director and Head of Research with Asia Pacific Equities, JP Morgan. He joins us. Sunil, morning. Thank you for joining us. Sunil, ETFs have been blamed for the recent correction. Do you see any realignment in them?
Ultimately, ETFs are simply going to reflect the money flows where investors have optimism. And I think, again, I would go back to the underlying drivers where, be it demand dynamics in some of the larger economies in Asia, for example, relative to some of the policy tailwinds that you're seeing in places such as Japan. And therefore, I would think that it's the underlying factors that become more important, and ETFs are simply a reflection of that underlying factor. And I think, again, go back to the point, there is better opportunities in some of the developed markets like Japan right now, which is probably weighing in on some of the emerging markets and Asian markets.
Right, Sunil. So we have been witnessing, some kind of fatigue among investors for emerging equities. Is it just a temporary adjustment due to Japan, or developed countries are becoming more attractive, or risk-on rally, according to you, is fizzling out?
See, there's definitely been a lot more interest in Japan following some of the recent policy announcements and administration changes. But I also think that, one needs to be examining, what does a risk on mean. For example, if you look at the US market expansion, that's been led by defensive sectors rather than cyclicals. So, as investors become more comfortable with risk, there is every possibility that there is money that goes into more riskier or cyclical sectors in developed markets. I think the issue that emerging markets have faced is policy headwinds, and certainly we've seen regulators in Asia being a lot more hawkish compared to, say, some of the more benign policy conditions in developed world. And at the same time, we've also seen growth slow down in many of the larger economies amongst the emerging market or the Asian stable. China is a good example of that. So I think the risk-on rally or for emerging markets or Asian markets to look attractive, it's really going to depend on delivering growth and visibility and confidence in that.
Sunil, some of the uncertainties on the US budget, Japan policy and Cyprus have been cleared. Has that made you more positive on Asian equities?
I certainly think we've gone away from the edge of the cliff. So clearly the panic volatility that we had been seeing in many of these factors, that's gone away for now. I don't think these risks have entirely gone away. I think all that's happened is that we're not standing on the edge of the cliff. Now, what that means is that for an investor, playing the top-down macro trade is probably not going to become that attractive. So playing, a single top-down trade, that's something which was somewhat easy thing to do. I think a lot more focus has to be put on bottom-up opportunities. And so, while we might have a slightly more sanguine view on some of the Asian markets, I think there are opportunities on a bottom-up stock picking basis. And I think that I would apply across the whole Asian region.
What is your stance on India? And after the recent correction, how would you map valuations for Indian equities?
See, the macro and some of the macro conditions are definitely weak in the short term. There is no doubt about that. But I think what one needs to also keep a focus on is some of the measures the government has put into place for fiscal consolidation and some of the measures that will eventually bring down the current account deficit, and a slightly weaker oil price helps there as well. You will ultimately get to a situation where the Reserve Bank will have some more flexibility in easing monetary policy. Now, unfortunately, that's probably a second half 2013 affair, and much more backloaded as compared to the short term. And once again, I would rather focus on the opportunity and the earnings visibility rather than cheap valuations alone. So yes, valuations have come down, but they are basically in sync with historical averages. So they're not massively cheap. There are some opportunities, but I think the first quarter earnings season is probably going to be weak. I think we've seen some numbers come out today which were looking rather weak. So I think there is short-term weakness definitely, and at some point we will get buying opportunities with a view to the back half of the year.
Sunil, so do you see any risk for India markets as it's over-owned and vulnerably dependent on foreign flows as well?
Look, historically, I mean, there's definitely been a substantial linkage with foreign flows and how the Indian markets performed. What's very interesting is that with the exception of perhaps last week, we've seen very strong flows by foreign investors, and yet it's been one of the weaker performing markets, or at least one of the weaker performing markets in the region. So I think one does need to take into account what the domestic institutions are doing in sync with what the foreign institutions are doing. And yes, you know, clearly a weak macro environment and headline earnings misses and weak earnings quality is going to probably scare some investors away, and you might see some more selling. I do think, though, that the focus goes back to, can India deliver earnings visibility? Can some of the reform measures and measures for fiscal consolidation feed through into ultimately a better macro picture, which will then make some of the corporate earnings look better? So I think the money will follow fundamentals, but there is definitely a short-term risk that we are seeing here.
Sunil, finally, in terms of sectors and groups, how exactly would you map key groups and sectors this year?
Our stance is to be defensive focused, defensive biased, so things like healthcare, and you know, despite some poor numbers by one of the IT majors, I think IT services still looks on a relative basis attractive. I think some of the state-owned utilities will probably look attractive. Again, the bias is to look for companies and industries which have earnings visibility where the volatility conditions are going to be lower, rather than hunt for deep value just as yet. And some of the defensive Indian financials, I think, are again relatively attractive. And mind you, these are all relative calls within an Indian market context.
Okay, Sunil, good chatting with you. Appreciate you taking the time out and joining us this morning on ET Now.